Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Maroon Devils Network as we talk Maroon Devil football with head coach Scott Riley. Coach, I know it's more fun to talk about a win than a loss. Last week, a tough one with Smoky Mountain as they came in. And Coach, I've got to say, I really think their experience and their veteran players really showed up because they're a veteran team as opposed to last year when we won at their place. So they've gotten older and bigger and stronger, and they looked pretty good last week.
Oh yeah, a lot of credit goes to them, and they last year they kind of went through what we're going through right now with a small senior class, and it pays dividends the next year and the year after. So they have a very strong team and a lot of depth, and I can't fault how our kids played. That's what I told them after the game, that and even after watching film, there's not a play on there where someone's loafing or taking a play off or giving in. They played their hearts out for Swain all night long, and I told them we got to give them a better plan to when they give it that kind of effort to be better. So it falls on me as a head coach there. But Smoky's a real good football team, and they're going to win a lot of football games. And they kind of went through those growing pains last year with a young team, and they're paying the dividends this year.
No doubt. Coach, looking at some of the aspects of the game, one thing, I was talking with Joe Holt, of course, our producer and cameraman behind the scenes, that was impressive. Our offense was really disciplined. We didn't see any pre-snap penalties, no motion penalties, no moving early. And that's got to impress you, being disciplined from that standpoint.
Yeah, that was something that hurt us in the scrimmages, was those pre-snap penalties, and they did a much better job with that. And got to clean up the turnovers. We had 3 turnovers. We're going to play mistake-free football, particularly these next few weeks, and so those are some things to work on. But again, early in the year, you want to see the effort and the try hard, and they did that, and was really impressed with that piece of it.
Yeah. Coach, how much was momentum in that game? It just seemed like early in the game, Smoky kind of grabbed that momentum by the throat, and they just didn't let us have it back. It just seemed like momentum stayed on their side of the ball most of the night.
Yeah, momentum's a big part of football, and like I said, our kids never gave in, but they're probably a better football team than us this year. But the punt, it tipped off the Smoky's helmet, and it looked like it ricocheted off of us. I'm sure it's a bang play, but we went back and looked at the film. It hit off their player's helmet, and that turnover early, because they went 3 and out. We went 3 and out. They went 3 and out, and everyone's going to settle into the game. And that right there, you kind of sparked them to get out of the gate on the lead, and it kind of went downhill from there. But plays here and there could have kept us in the game, and the ball didn't bounce our way. But like I said, not giving up was the big takeaway for us as a coaching staff.
Yeah, Coach, you got to be impressed too with some of your line play. I know we have some veterans up there and some youth as well on both sides of the ball at the line of scrimmage. But there were a lot of plays. They look really good. Yeah,
that's another thing we pointed out to the players. We won the line of scrimmage, I think, on both sides of the football, offense and defense.
Yeah.
And you should win those football games, or at least be in those football games. So that's something as a coach I got to do better. When they're winning up front, we got to take advantage of that and play into our strengths.
Yeah, Coach. One thing about injuries, I know we were without Colton Schuler, a very important part of this football team. I know young man Carson. I think he got injured. Do we have any other injuries that are still healing up, getting ready for Pisgah this week?
Yeah, depth is a big issue. We only addressed, I think, 17 healthy players. Friday night, we actually had someone get injured in walkthroughs I've never seen before, so that was unfortunate last night. And we got a few people banged up in the game on Friday night, so depth is a definite concern. But these kids are tough and are going to play hard, and we'll need it this week.
Well, no doubt. Fans, stay tuned. We're going to come back and talk about those Pisgah Bears as our Maroon Devils continue our march basically through this Mountain 8 conference play, some tough early season games. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back as we talk Maroon Devil football with head coach Scott Riley. Coach, we talked about Smoky Mountain being tough. It doesn't get much easier this week. The Pisgah Bears are coming into town, and we've kind of had relationships with Pisgah over the years playing them. I remember one of our Hall of Fame coaches, Carol Wright, was the head coach there. That was back in the Heath Schuler era for all these people old like me who go back to some of those great football games. But Pisgah, I think really normally anyway, they play a lot like we do. They're very tough physically. They like to play that hard-nosed, physical, defense up front kind of football. Are you seeing that from them after their first game?
Yeah, definitely. Particularly on offense, they're going to try to run the ball down your throat and pound you quite a bit, and then hope you fall asleep and take big shots over the top. And they've been pretty good at both those things, running the ball. At a pretty successful rate in their scrimmage against Asheville, which was right after ours up there and at Asheville High School, and then last Friday night against Mountain Heritage, ran the ball, and then it set up the big pass play. They have two quarterbacks kind of rotate, but both of them are very accurate with the deep ball. Matter of fact, more accurate with the deep throws than they were with the short stuff. Wow. So they can take shots over the top as well if you fall asleep. So their offense puts our defense in a bind, big test up there. We've been pretty good against the run, so hopefully we can continue that and make them one-dimensional. But they can do both there, and then their defense has given up a lot of rushing yards, but they've also faced two really good offenses so far this year. So I'm sure that they'll be well trained up, and it's a lot of the same guys, are on the offensive side of the football. So they're a pretty physical bunch on that side too.
Yeah, Coach, talking with a couple of their coaches over at Pisgah High School, they were really concerned in the Mountain Heritage game that they fell behind early, but by the same token, they were really happy that their kids continued to play hard. They didn't give up. And they got their running game going and came back and won that game. They I think it was 48-30, so a lot of points. But they were a little concerned, kind of starting slow against Mountain Heritage last week.
Yeah, I think those things are kind of expected in first game of the year. You never know how it's going to go, and they're a little bit younger than they were last year, so a lot of those guys is their first time out there on the varsity level. So I'm sure that now they got the confidence of a comeback win that they'll start fast, and we'll have to be ready to start fast as well. Yeah,
I know Pisgah will bring a lot of fans. They're a lot like Swain in the fact that in that town football is a big deal, just like it is here in Swain County. We had a great crowd last Friday night. Had good weather. We're hoping for the same this Friday. And again, we want that crowd back because everybody plays better in front of a good crowd, don't they?
Yeah, I thought, like I said, most of the fault from Friday night comes on me. I thought the atmosphere was great here. The fans cheered through the whole game and stayed and cheered on their players, and the players played their hearts out. They played just as hard on the last play of the game as they did the first play of the game. And with the numbers we have, that's a very, very difficult task that you can't really understand how hard it is until you're in that situation. Like I said, that the community was great, the fans are great, and the players are great, and hopefully we can continue that on Friday night as well.
I know Dean Henderson got that last touchdown literally on the last play of the ball game, and we were giving Dean a lot of accolades during the game because I think he's the Smoky Mountain Conference golfer of the year. But
that was actually Caden Sawyer.
Was that Caden?
Dean isn't on the team. I think we got an old roster there. 6 is missing. That jersey is missing, so we changed it on Max Preps. But that was Caden Sawyer had a big game for us out there, and really ran the ball hard, and the O-line paved the way for him. So he had a big scrimmage as well out here. So at home he's been over 100 yards both times out. So.
Okay. Hey, our apologies to Caden Sawyer. I think we were calling him Dean most of the night. And, of course, as we mentioned, Dean had a great golfing season. But obviously Caden played a good ball game because he came in and made some key plays offensively. So, again, our apologies to Caden. But he played a good ball game.
Oh, yeah. He had a great game. Had an 80-yard run at the end of the game. but got him over 100. He's also our leading receiver in the game as well. So put up some good numbers, and he's got some wheels on him. So when he breaks it, you better get ready. So hopefully we can get a few more of those on Friday night.
Oh, no doubt. Coaches, you're getting ready for Pisgah. What are your thoughts pregame going into that game? What do you tell your team coming out of the locker room against a pretty good Pisgah Bear football team?
Just play. We got to match the physicality, which I'm pretty sure we will do. Our kids play hard and love physical football. So I'm sure they're not going to shy away from that piece of it. But just execute. Make sure we know who we're blocking and when, and who's doing what. I think that'll avoid those negative plays. When you can run the ball consistently, it's nice. But when you mess up one play there, then it can be difficult to get back in the down and distance situations you want to get in. So try to avoid those mistakes, especially on early downs, and set up situations where we can be successful late in the downs.
Oh, no doubt. Fans, it's going to be another knockdown, drag-out, physical, mountain kind of football game. The Pisgah Bears come to town, and our Maroon Devils are going to be ready. And don't forget, join us every week right here as we talk Maroon Devil football with head coach Scott Riley on the Maroon Devils Network.